Well, welcome to another Memphis Monday. Memphis Monday 112, building the 130 feet of fence, including 3 gates, and one of them is a vehicle gate, and we have 2 people gates. A lot of material, a lot of work, a lot of fun, and a lot of takeaways. But we're not going to get anything done unless we do what?
Knock off the chatter.
Knock off the chatter and get to work. Well, welcome again to episode 2 of the mega fence building competition. The scam is, take these earphones off so you can hear me. The scam is, you know, we got to finish those 2 gates and get these pickets up, but I still need to go to Lowe's to get some more supplies. But the back of my truck was filled up with these pickets, so I'm going to go ahead and use up these 50 pickets that we talked about in part 1, and go ahead and put the pickets up on this on the gate, and as far as we can go on this fence section here, and then we'll go make a road trip and figure out how many more pickets we need and all that stuff. Now what I'm doing here is I got this, I don't know exactly what it is, a 2 3/4 inch spacer that I put between these boards to keep them aligned. But then, about every 3 boards, I put the board up there like usual, but I put the nail right in the center. Then I take the spacer out and take my level, and so about every 3 boards I can check to make sure that I'm not straying off level. You don't need a spacer for these. The gap, this gap right in here, is narrow enough that you can eyeball it. Okay, I got the big gate and that one section of fence done. What I want to do now is measure how many pickets we used. Okay, that's 20 feet and 7 inches. So we'll call it 20 feet. Time for a coffee break and ciphering break. Okay, we went 20 feet and we used 55 pickets. Well, if you round that off to 20 and 50, that's obviously 2.5 pickets per foot. But we want to be exact because we don't want, I don't want 30 pickets to be living here in the Memphis Mecca. So I want to get it exact. Okay, I did the ciphering, and near as I can tell, I need 60 more pickets. So we're going to take a road trip to Lowe's. Okay, I'll fast forward this if it's too boring. I mean, it has to be boring. All I'm doing is opening the gate. But it's the first time we open the gate. This is I don't have a stop for this thing yet, so I'm going to have to put a stake in the ground. Okay, I turned the truck around so we could get a front view of going through our gate for the first time. What do you think? Looks like it's going to be big enough. We're in luck because we got a cart here. Thought I was going to have to go back to the woodworking place to get one. Well, here they are. Pickets we need 60 of them. So let me load them up and we'll go off and get the rest of the stuff we need. Well, I got them loaded up. I only got 50 instead of 60. I think I'd rather come back than have any of these left over, because then they'd just be laying around my shop, taking up room. Well, there's our 50 fence pickets. They're wet and heavy, but they're going on a fence. Okay, let's go get our hinges and latches. My favorite place. I'm here at the gate latches. I think I'll get this heavy duty flip latch for the big gate, and I'm going to get a couple of these smaller self-adjusting ones for the small gates. And here are the hinges I used on the other gate. Well, we're back. I think what the first thing we'll do is install that big gate hinge on the big gates here. I'm afraid the wind's going to catch those. Well, here's our big latch. Near as I can tell, this goes on the right and that goes on the left, and then this thing swings down and locks the two gates together. I'm going to install some 2x4s in here so that this thing will have some meat to screw into. Doing that now. I put some 3-inch nails back in the gun. Well, there's our latch for our big gate. Let's get to working on those other two gates. Well, but wait a minute, we got to fix something. I don't think these gate hinges, I got them because they were stainless. But you can see that it's narrower at the bottom than it is at the top. And it wasn't that way when I put them in. And I think these things are a little underpowered. So to solve the problem, I'm putting these heavy duty. I'm replacing those lighter hinges with these heavy duty jobs. I think they'll work out better. We go ahead and replace those over there, and then we can get on to the gate construction. Here's the frame for our corner gate. It's about 60 inches tall, 57 inches wide, and our angle brace is about 40 degrees. And you'll notice here, I've had to double up this hinge side of the gate so that I have room for the hinges. Okay, let's drag it out there and see if we can do some damage. You know, I can show you all the angles and the techniques and all that stuff, but really, fence building is just a lot of work. Same procedure we use on the big gates. Just line these babies up and slap in the screws. Okay, the next thing is to put the stringers across here. Let's do that. Okay, next thing is to put the stringers across here that correspond to the ones here on the main fence. So they just basically go across here. There'll be 3 of them. Let me get that measurement. 54 or 55 and a half. Now here we are attaching the stringers. All we do is kind of attach it at one end, put the level up here, and tweak it until it's level. And then you go ahead and finish nailing it. Now, if you're building a fence, you really need 2 people, because you always got ends hanging out that need to be held. But if you don't have 2 people, then one of the tricks is you can use a jig like we've done before. Or I'm holding these up with a screw. So right down here, I know this thing's going to be right about in here somewhere. So I'll put my screw in. So now I take my other stringer, hanging up on that nail. And I'll just put one nail in it. Well, we're about ready to wrap this framing job up. I'm already putting the latch on. Tell you what, after we test drive this thing, I'll go ahead and knock that other gate out, and then we can start putting pickets up. Okay, let's test drive it. That's what I call a perfect gate. Well, this gate really turned out nice. I'm glad I saw the light and put those big hinges on there. But it's a nice one. Okay, I'll build the other one offline, and then we can start putting some pickets on. Got that other gate in. Went pretty smooth, didn't take very long. Let's go down and look at the fence picket operation. Well, what I'm doing here is kind of staging the pickets. Basically, I'm staging the ones we just got at Lowe's. Get them out of my truck. And I don't want to stage them all, because my staging will no doubt be wrong, and I don't want them I don't want them to get in the way. See what I mean about staging too much? I stage these boards, but a stage is not going to be perfect, and so I keep having to move stacks of boards down the fence line, and it means I have to move everything 4 or 5 times. Well, I'll tell you what, while Keaton is finishing up the rest of the pickets, I'll take you a tour of the completed fence. Here's a big picture of the fence. We got the double gates there for the vehicles. We got the corner gate, 108 feet of fence right there, a center gate. Let's take a little walk around. Here's our big car gate with the big hinge. We got the big hinges on it, and we got the big latch. I'm still having some sagging problems on that left side. I'm going to wait till that wood dries a little bit before I nuke that one. Here's our people gate down here in the corner. This gate came out particularly nice. And there's our 108-foot section right there. Go down through there. Posts are 2.5 feet in the ground, set in concrete. I used quick sackcrete. There's our center gate. I haven't invented anything elaborate yet to open the gate, but I just put that wire up there so you can open the gate from the outside. Probably keep that until I invent something better. This gate came out real well also. Just a few more pickets put in down here. Here's the section of fence we put in last time. This was about 80 feet, I think. Okay, here's our 80-foot fence again. It's got this little divider fence right here with another gate. This is one of our 6 gates that go into this backyard here. And this is that gate we used as a prototype for our other gates. And here's our back fence continuing on. And then this is the west. This is the west fence on the other side of the yard. I don't know, it's been a year or so ago we worked on this, and there's more fence down at that end down there on the south side. So I now have a wooden fence all the way around my backyard. So you can see the west fence or the east fence over there. So my dogs have plenty of room to run. Well, that'll do it for another exciting Memphis Monday. I think we got a lot of takeaways. I think the biggest takeaway we got was that building a fence is not that hard technically, but it's just a lot of work. And luckily, I had my buddy Keaton with us, and he was laughing at me trying to crawl through that fence. So I don't blame him. But anyway, you got any words of wisdom?
Real tedious.
Real
steady wins the race.
Yep, it is really tedious, and it's just it's fun for about 10 minutes, and then it turns into a job. All right, so that'll do it. Make sure you tweet and Facebook and Twitter and whatever else you do on the internet. And I can't think of anything else. Yes, I can. I just remembered. Make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.